Today we are etching Damascus steel in my kitchen using basic household ingredients such as coffee, mustard and a little bit of baking soda. To walk you through the process, we will turn this plain looking piece of steel into a gorgeous lanyard bead full of contrast. Hey everyone, welcome to Salvo EDC. Finally, I could allocate enough time for this project that I wanted to do for many months, as earlier this year I got this Damascus steel bead from Etsy to complement my real steel Metamorph pocket knife, which also comes with a very similar Damascus pattern. However, there was one certain thing that kept me from installing this bead to my gorgeous blade, as in real life the knife looks a lot darker, which pushed me to look for ways to bring their colors closer together. So I came up with this fun little project that requires 3 easy steps. First of all, we will etch the bead using a mild acidic compound, such as a large spoonful of this generic store-bought mustard. After pouring it into a container and submerging our bead, we will let it sit for about 5 hours, so we will have some time to discuss why this step is so important. Our Damascus mix is made up by 2 different kinds of steels, a shiny stainless one and another lot less corrosion-proof high-carbon steel. Due to their properties, they take the insulting nature of our mustard way differently. Long story short, the darker areas of Damascus react to mustard, while the shiny parts shrug it off. However, mustard in itself will not make the steel too much darker, it just makes it way less shiny as it bites into its surface. That's why we need coffee to come in and bring some color. Now after spa time is over, we are back to the kitchen to fish for our bead. Then we go ahead and use some tap water to carefully remove all the mustard that stuck to it. During this step, thorough cleaning is very important, because any mustard stuck to the bead can make our final results ugly and uneven. So I will also use this sponge handed over by my trusty rubber ducky. And now as we inspect our bead, we can see that it looks exactly the same as it did before. However, if I start dragging my finger across its surface, I can feel that the dark areas have a lot more drag now, meanwhile the shiny parts remain slippery. This is a clear sign that our mustard treatment was successful, so now we can move on to our next phase, which is a warm coffee bath that will take place overnight. To prep the solution, I use a very cheap instant coffee from the bottom shelf of a local supermarket, and to achieve the best results, you should not get an expensive gourmet brand. My pro advice here is to get the most acidic, disgusting coffee that you can just find. And if your Italian friends start taking it as an insult, that is generally a good sign. And now for the sake of science, let's pretend it's not 10 PM and try some of this crap. Yeah, it was definitely gross enough. And please, don't be shy with the ratios, just toss in as much coffee in as little water as possible. And yeah, now I'm definitely not sleeping. Not because of the caffeine, but because this stuff will give me nightmares.
A few moments later.
So after a sleepless night, I came back the next morning, and what could I say? This black tar did not get any more appetizing. But I won't complain, because the effect it had on my bead surpassed even my wildest expectations, as this thing looks completely different. Just a couple of short hours ago, it looked dull and boring, and now it looks incredible, full of contrast. I had the educated guess that coffee would do the trick, but I'm genuinely surprised that it worked this well. And if I show you the 2 beads side by side, you can see what difference it made. This means that finally my bead matches the knife that I bought it for. We just have to carefully clean it again, and then neutralize the acid with some good old baking soda. This step is very important, so I had to make sure not to half-ass it. Then to go the extra mile, I also polished our bead with a kitchen cloth, and I also added a splash of extra virgin olive oil to make it real shiny. I told you that today we would etch Damascus with basic household products, and as you see, I genuinely meant it. Finally, our bead is ready to install. So to wrap up this project, I'll quickly grab some mustard yellow paracord, which is my favorite color by the way, and it also fits the theme of this video. So let me tie a couple of snake knots, seal it, and boom, this is the final result. If you enjoyed this quick DIY makeover, definitely leave a like, and please find my full guide on how to make similar knife lanyards by tapping on this card. Also, if you'd like to see the 10 best lanyard beads that I found after spending $1,000 on Etsy, you should also check this second video. Thank you for sticking around all the way, and I'll see you in the next one.